recording is on.
We got two more coming in. Are they with us?
I see people walking up.
Really means a lot that we're able to come to Avondale and speak with everyone, have some face-to-face time with you all to really dig deep into the specific challenges and roadblocks and opportunities that you all are facing in this specific region. And the only way for us to really understand is for us to be here and listen, and that's really valuable to us. So we're really excited to be here and learn more about what's going on and be able to provide some information on what the Colorado Broadband Office has been up to and what we're going to be doing over the next year or so, and the opportunities that still await for those who want to take advantage of them. I think that there's a lot of great opportunities for this region to get involved with. So I guess we'll do some quick intros on our end, just so everyone's aware of who we all are and what we bring to the table today. But my name is Joe Durham. I'm the Senior Manager of the Colorado Broadband Office. And I'll be going over most of the information today, talking about what's going on with the CBO. Delia is going to talk to us about workforce development and some of the engagement opportunities. You want to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, Delia Sanchez, Community Engagement Specialist at the Colorado Broadband Office. Yeah, and I'm Melanie Coletti. I am the Digital Equity Manager for the state of Colorado. I work in the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment, and specifically in the Office of the Future of Work.
Okay. Since this is a small group, we can keep this pretty informal. If there's any questions along the way, let's dig into those. Let's have as many conversations as we need to have about any topic that you'd like. That's what we're here for, is to really support you. And if we're talking about things you really don't care about, just say, hey, next slide. Or if you've got a question you want to talk about anything, it doesn't matter how controversial it is, let's discuss it. Because the only way to overcome some of these challenges is to really get in front of it and be realistic about what we're facing. So don't hesitate. All right, I'm going to start things off just with some background in case there's any uncertainty about what's going on with the Broadband Office and why we're even here today and how we got here. It really started with the governor's executive order a few years ago that mandated that the Broadband Office connect 99% of the state with broadband by 2027. And when we say broadband, we're talking about 100 down by 20 up. So that's what we're doing. We've got about 180,000 folks that still need to be connected as of today. So this graph kind of shows you where we started. And I think that we've got about 93.3% served as of today, but the remaining is about 180,000 folks. In order for the Broadband Office to be successful with meeting that goal, these are kind of the four things that we're really focused on. It starts with this piece right here, the whole reason we're here today, community engagement. We've got to hear from folks to really understand what the issues are. From there, it's the database, the map. When we understand the issues, we then have to document them and start distributing them, and making sure that our data is aligned, not just statewide, but nationwide. So then you understand the issues, you've documented the issues, but then how are we going to fund this? that's the third piece that's really important, is the funding. That's the exciting part. But even if you've got it all funded and you're able to overcome these challenges, what happens once you connect communities and maybe they've never used the internet before? Maybe they can't afford the service that we just spent millions of dollars deploying in their community. So it's more than just spending a bunch of money and putting fiber down. There's so many more pieces to this that everyone has to work together on. So throughout this presentation, I'm going to dig into all 4 of these and provide some details about how we've been successful over the last year or so and what to expect over the next several years with all 4 of these. The community engagement piece. This is something that Brandy Ryder, our executive director, probably is the most focused on with the CBO. It's so important to her, and she communicates that to us regularly. She is an advocate for transparency and for making sure that we are speaking to everyone and collaborating with everyone on the direction that we're headed. It's really important that we're all working together in the same direction for this stuff to be successful. So, just coming down here and saying, here's what we're going to do, that's not good enough. We want to hear from you. We want to know what matters to you. We want to know what we can be doing different. We want to know from the experts who are in the area of the things that we're not thinking of. And so, we regularly are doing roundtable discussions, webinars. We've got industry consult meetings that we have monthly. We've got community consult meetings that we're having. Every month, there's a whole series of stakeholder meetings and engagement opportunities for us to speak with you and for you to speak with us. And obviously, we've got the summer roadshow. It was very successful last summer. We went to all 14 regions, and this is number 2 of this summer. So we've got the rest of the summer in front of us, but we're excited to get out here and speak with everyone. It's very important. Moving on to the data piece. Our mapping team at the CBO is years ahead of every other broadband office in the nation. I am so excited and impressed and proud of the team that we have at the CBO and their talent and capabilities. Not only do we have a large team, but what that talent pool is able to accomplish and has been able to accomplish is light years ahead of everybody else in the nation. Starting with last year, they implemented this mapping hub that you can go on our website and get information on where the current projects are. There's information on where there's still unserved and underserved locations that need to be addressed. So it's a really user-friendly portal that anyone can go on and really understand the data in an easy way and identify where the issues still are. One of their biggest success stories in 2023 was that they challenged over 15,000 locations with the FCC. Now these locations with the FCC, they're usually identified through ISPs like Comcast and Lumen, who conveniently sometimes misrepresent their data. And that prevents companies like CCOM from being able to service those areas because according to the FCC, they're already served. Because our mapping team worked so diligently with our communities, we were able to overturn 15,000 locations in Colorado. These are now 15,000 locations that will be available to be funded by BEAD and other grant projects. So that's a huge win for the entire state. Moving on to the funding piece. There are several ways to receive funding for broadband deployment programs in the state. So I'm going to go over those. We kind of have 3 different brands right now that we are putting these funding programs under. The federal programs, like CPF and BEAD, those fall under the Advanced Colorado Broadband Grant Program. Then we've also got the state-funded program, which is the Broadband Deployment Board, also known as the BEAD. And then we've got a technical assistance program. And that is, I'll get into opportunity for us to help smaller communities like Avondale to get the technical assistance, the expertise, the resources needed to build a successful application for one of these broadband grants. In 2023 alone, between these three opportunities, we were able to fund almost $150 million for broadband projects that will ultimately serve nearly 25,000 locations towards that 180,000 goal that we need to meet that 99% by 2027. So definitely a big accomplishment, I think, for just 2023, and for the CBO is really just kind of getting started with grants and managing them. A lot of opportunities here, and we're really excited about what happened in 2023. I'm going to talk about what to expect in 2024. But first, I want to go back to Capital Projects Fund and talk about what that looked like and talk about the success that we were able to achieve through CPF. This map here shows where we were able to fund projects. Those purple counties were Tier 1 counties that were all awarded projects. And then the gray ones are Tier 2 counties. The difference between Tier 1 and Tier 2 is unserved versus underserved, so the purple goes all there. Obviously, that's where we want the focus to be. And as you can see by this map, it's very diverse. When we are looking at grant applications, we're looking at spreading them out across the state, really sharing the love. So I think that this is a great representation of what's possible with these grants and how we can really spread them out across the state and reach communities like Avondale. Moving on to BEAD. So BEAD is obviously the one that everyone is most excited about. Colorado in last year was awarded $826 million. It's a lot of money. To kind of back up and put it in perspective, if you look at all three, if you look at all three of these, the total funding available right now between CPF, BEAD, and our broadband, our state funding, so between federal and state funded grants, there's about $1.1 billion available to connect the state. Based on a lot of the research we've done, we actually need probably about 1.6 in order to connect everyone with fiber. So we'll talk a little bit about that later, but obviously we're going to have to leverage some alternative technologies to get everyone connected. But still, $1.1 billion is a lot of money. So let's look at the BEAD timeline, give you an idea of what's been going on since this time last year and what to expect as we move throughout 2024. A year ago was the announcement from the NTIA that Colorado was awarded $826 million. Then we had some work we had to do with the NTIA to kind of prove to them that we could be successful with awarding projects of this size. So we submitted our 5-year action plan, and that was accepted. And then moving